Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. So I'm coming to you with a video about how much I've spent on my road trip. I wanted to come to you and give you some more content. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded and I've explained that on social media. I actually started grad school recently and I'm a full-time student. So I'm trying to get used to my schedule and get back into a groove. So anyway, wanted to come to you with this video about how much I've spent. If you're interested, keep watching. So you may be wondering when I'm actually getting to LA. Like, I've been on the road for a while. I've been on the road over a month now, and I am in Washington State, so I'm very close to the state of California. However, I kind of slowed down a little bit once I got in Montana, and I've slowed down quite a bit here in Washington State, and that's just due to my school schedule. I wanted to make sure that I understood how much time I was going to have to put in for school and, get that schedule all figured out before kind of just chugging ahead and moving on. So now that I feel after this week I've kind of gotten into a groove and I kind of know what I need to do, I feel more confident moving forward and continuing to travel. So just to answer that question, I've learned a lot from being on the road, and so I just want to give you some tips, some budget tips, and let you know some of the things that have worked for me. So the first thing I would tell you is to buy generic. I mean, this is something that people tell you to do when you're not on the road. Like, they tell you to do this at home, but I would definitely recommend it for on the road. Like, do you really need brand soap to wash your dishes in your car? Like, do you really need brand name this, brand name that? Now, there are certain things that I don't skimp on, like when it comes to skincare or things like that, things that are of a health nature or some sort of special items. But in general, buy generic whenever you can. The second thing I would tell you is to shop at Goodwill. Like, if you have a one-off clothing item or something that you need, go to Goodwill. They have so many good things. Goodwill, good things. But you know what I mean. They have so many good products, and I did another video about the cost of fast fashion and kind of how hard it is for them to sell some of their stuff sometimes. So you really are helping when you go and shop there, as opposed to just running out to Target and getting something brand new. Like, for example, I needed a belt, so I went there and bought one for like 50 cents. So just consider that. And then the third thing I would tell you is when you're in these major cities, look for the free stuff. Like, they have a lot of sculpture parks. They have a lot of outdoor gardens, things that are free of charge for the public to go to, and you can go there and enjoy yourself. Fourth and final thing I would tell you is don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Meaning, you can save all this money and scrimp and save and live dirt cheap, which, I feel like I'm, living in my car, cooking food out of my car at times. All of that's great, but if you're not actually having fun and you're not actually enjoying yourself, then what are you doing it for? Now, if you're enjoying yourself, you're hiking, you're just doing a lot of free stuff, and you're just being super, super cheap and you're enjoying yourself, then great. But don't not do something that you want to do if you have the money just for some financial goal, just to say that, oh yeah, I only spent $50 and I went all across the country. Well, did you enjoy yourself? This is a time for you to really go out and explore and enjoy yourself as much as possible. So be cognizant of your budget, but don't be a slave to it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the numbers. I did look up 2 other people that did a road trip because I wanted to give some comparison, let you guys see how much other people spent. So one site, Explorista.net, she actually spent a month on the road. She spent $3,500. $2,150 of that was on hotels. There was another guy, Nomadic Matt. He went on a 116-day road trip. He spent $6,262 on that road trip. $1,036 of that was on hotels. Now, I had spent 35 days on the road, so what I had to do with these numbers from these other people is kind of aggregate them, adjust them to how much they would have spent had they spent the same amount of time on the road as me. So when I did that for Explorista.net, I had that she would have spent $4,083 roughly after 35 days, and 25 $2,508, so $2,508 of that would have been on hotels had she been on the road 30 days. So I think on her blog she only put that she was on there for a month, so I assumed a month was 30 days, and so I just adjusted it from 30 days. As far as Nomadic Matt's numbers, if he had been on the road for 35 days, he would have spent $1,889 roughly, and of that, $312 roughly would have been on lodging, on hotels or campgrounds or wherever he was staying. And then I also calculated that he would have spent $983 roughly on food. So that's what I have for their numbers. Now let's look at my numbers. So after 35 days, this is up until August 21st. So keep that in mind. There's been some days in between there, but this is up until August 21st. So from July 17th to like August 21st, my total has been $1,893.33. As far as a breakdown, I spent $514 roughly on gas, $528 on food, $259 on auto expenses, $70.17 on personal care, $159 roughly on general merchandise, and then $362.28 on other stuff. This includes things like parking in the city, like laundry, like other miscellaneous costs, maybe even, paying some bills. I think I did get like a ticket, not on my trip, but I had a ticket like back home that I got, and I had to pay that. So things like that I did spend during the course of my trip. So that's the breakdown, guys. You can see, if you compare my numbers to the other two numbers that I put out there from those other two people, I'm kind of in the middle. With Nomadic Matt, I am spending a little bit more than him. I'm a little bit above him, but my balance is a little bit different. I can see, looking at his numbers, he spent a lot on food and not so much on lodging. And for me, my food is equal to my gas. Obviously, I'm not paying for lodging. I'm in my car, but my food is kind of equal to my gas. And I also have those auto expenses, which I don't see on Nomadic Matt's blog. I don't see him listing auto expenses, even though I think he had his own car he was driving. I've had to pay quite a bit for auto expenses. Number one, I make sure I get my oil changes on time. So whenever they, when they put that sticker on your car and they tell you get an oil change at this many miles, I get my oil changes on time. So I've probably gotten about 2 or 3 oil changes since I've been on the road in a month. So, pretty frequent. And also just last week, I had to get a new battery. So that was about $155. So I've been putting quite a bit of money into my vehicle. And so that's some of my expenses. As far as gas, I have found gas to be a little bit expensive, Up here in Washington, gas is up in the 280s, which you think is not that bad, but compared to like down south where I feel like it was a little bit cheaper, it makes a difference. I mean, in between each city, I probably spend about $80 to $100 in gas just getting in between each city, and that has a lot to do with my vehicle. I don't have a fuel efficient vehicle. I don't have a brand new vehicle. This is a 2008 Kia Rondo, so it gets me from point A to point B, but I wouldn't consider it quite a gas guzzler, but it's not great on gas. Like, I've seen other cars, like I've been in rentals that have been really good on gas, way better than my car is. So that's a big part of it. Now obviously I did spend a lot on food as well, and I told you guys that early on that was going to be my main vice. Like, I actually have a list that I'm compiling of my favorite vegetarian and vegan restaurants from across the country, so I will not hesitate to have some good vegan or vegetarian food. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm actually on my way to go have some really good vegan vegetarian breakfast and a vegan vegetarian lunch. Okay, so I already knew I was gonna be eating out and going and enjoying really good cuisine, so that doesn't surprise me. However, I do try to cut down on like eating chain restaurants. Starbucks is evil. I didn't spend that much on Starbucks. I've spent less than I thought I would, but Starbucks will get you caught up. And it's crazy because I love Starbucks. I love the environment. I love studying inside of Starbucks. But before you know it, you spent $15 in Starbucks. Like, you've bought a coffee for breakfast and a little sandwich. Then you've bought like a salad or something. But also just other fast food chains. I'm trying to limit that for sure. Like, if I spend money on food, I want it to be like at a place that's local to wherever I'm at. I don't want to be spending money on like Burger King, and I've done that. Like, I'll be honest, I've done it. I've been like, ugh, I don't feel like stopping this car and cooking. I'm about to go get something to eat. So I've kind of tried to stop that, and to try to, you know, make sure that I'm spending my money on new experiences. I'm going to try to speed up a little bit on my route, and also going to try to look for some opportunities to make some money, make some income while I'm on the road. I've heard some people make videos. I've seen some people make videos about making money on the road, so I might look into some of those things, but I am really, really busy, so I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do with that. But anyway, guys, that is my breakdown. That is how much I've spent so far on the road. Many of you may think that a road trip can be done a lot cheaper. Definitely can, but it just depends on how many days you're on the road. If you just drive straight across the country and just, you know, beeline it straight to LA, yeah, you can get by really, really cheap. But you got to keep in mind, you know, if you stop and all of that, that stuff is what costs money, and you can see that add up in those other numbers that I gave you guys. All right, well, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section, or anything that you want to tell me, anything that you want to say, feel free to leave a comment. And as always, I'll be uploading more content very soon. So thank you guys so much for your support. I will talk to you soon. Bye.